I wasn't planned to go live now, but we've got something pretty exciting going on in our craft room here at CCHQ. And I thought, you know what? Instead of just kind of having this here and nobody knowing about it until after the event, why not go live and do this whole thing live? So literally, much to my guests' dismay and shock horror, as you are about to realise, we are live here. I've told her not to worry. There's only a couple of people say there's only 80 of them. Don't need to worry about it. They're chatting live with us. So basically today is a really quite a special day. Now, some of you, and I'm looking, seeing we've got loads of people watching from the US, so you guys probably won't know anything about this, but those of you watching from the UK may remember that a few months ago, crikey, it was nearly 6 months ago now, wasn't it? A few months ago, we launched our brand over on Create and Craft, the big shopping channel here in the UK. And as part of that launch event, we ran a huge competition. So every person that ordered automatically got entered into a prize draw to win a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And that opportunity was to be brought up to here, all expenses paid, to Crafters Companion head office in the northeast of England, to stay in this wonderful hotel around the corner, to be treated like royalty for a couple of days, to come into head office, meet all the staff, get to do a class in our store, and then get to come in our craft room here and craft with me. And what the plan was, before about half an hour ago, was we were going to video that and they could take it away with them. And I said, Angela's our prize, when I said, why don't we just go live on Facebook? And then we can craft, you can craft along with me live, we'll film it all, but we'll be live on Facebook while we're doing it. And I don't think she had any idea what I was really suggesting and asking. So she sat down, we put a mic in front of her and said, right, we're going live in 10 seconds. And she's had a bit of a panic attack. Her husband's sitting in the corner watching with a big grin on his face. It's the most magical thing to see. But what we're going to be doing, we're going to be here with you for a little while now. As part of Angela's competition prize, it was to come in and craft with me and learn how to, we're going to use the Sara Signature Nautical collection. So we're going to be doing this fantastic project with some embossing, some die cutting, some gilding, a little bit of all sorts, stamping we've got in there. So that's what we're going to be doing here for the next 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, as long as it takes us, depending on how the chit-chat's going. And you can participate in that with us. We'll be answering any questions you've got live. Here we go. Everyone's saying congratulations. So we've got Karen saying congratulations. Angela, Helen is saying, Cheryl said what a fantastic idea. People are saying hello literally from all over the world. New York, Missouri. Anne says what a lucky lady you are. Florida, Niagara Falls. North Devon, believe it or not, someone from North Devon, Chicago, Colorado, literally people all over the world saying how lucky and how exciting. Thank you. I'm going to put you guys down and I'm going to introduce you to Angela. This is our competition winner, Angela. So, Angela gets to sit here with me. Are you ready for the setup?
Yes.
Close-up camera.
Okay.
Important camera.
Right.
Another close-up camera.
Right.
Another camera looking at what's going on in our hands.
Yes.
You've then got to liaise with the producer and the directors over here. We've got to know everything that's going on.
Okay.
And if we make a mess or do something wrong, this little fairy appears and cleans up the mess.
Good.
While we look like we're doing something else really important.
Well, she could be busy.
Yes. And actually, we've never let the fairy. Should we get the fairy on so everyone can see what the fairy looks like?
Yeah, I think so.
This is, and so just to put it in perspective, when I'm live on Facebook and I say the crafty fairy's coming in, this is the crafty fairy who literally comes in and sorts us out. This is Julia, everyone. Crafty fairy does actually have a name. So yes, so Julia has got everything set up for us today. You sorted?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. I'm just going to take this toilet roll out the background.
Watch them leaves.
I'll not fall over doing it.
I was doing a Facebook Live the other day and I got all a bit excited and wasn't looking where I was going and decided I was going to run around the craft room getting bits and pieces and I went flying over one of the leads there.
Oh dear.
Yep, so I will learn that. Yeah. Brilliant. So look, we've got loads of people on, people chatting all over. Good. Slimming World Broughton says, have a fabulous experience. That's our lady in North Devon.
Thank you.
Brilliant hearing where everyone's from. Do you know what we'll do? Keep your love, keep your support coming in for Angela. And I know Angela's going to take away the card that she makes, but how about whatever card I make, you can choose a winner at random, and we'll send them the card that I make.
Okay.
So you need to keep in with Angela, basically.
Yes.
You need to keep in with Angela, and she might pick you, right? So keep sending her the love.
Yeah,
you know what happens sometimes as well? They hit the little love hearts. Can you see the little hearts going on?
Oh, yes.
Because people send little love hearts, and they pop and go up the screen.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay,
I often feel the love a lot when people send me the little love hearts coming up the screen. There they are coming now. Look, we're getting loads of them. Mwah, thank you, guys. Right, so shall we get started?
Yes.
Actually, before we get going on the crafting, what's been your favourite part of your day so far?
Of today?
Yep.
Being with Julia. Because I haven't had my time with you yet.
Oh, because she hasn't had a chance to spend much time with me yet, she said, Julia. Crafty fairy.
No, definitely being here and seeing the offices, seeing all the staff.
Yep.
I thought there'd be more of you to run a company like this.
Oh, we're very efficient.
And obviously learning to do card making because I'm very new at it, so everything that you teach me is very, very welcome.
You'll be brilliant by the end of it. Right.
All right.
Have you done much in the way of embossing?
No, only a little bit this morning with Julia, but not me.
Come and get yourself comfortable, right?
Okay.
So when I did the nautical range,
Yeah.
I did these embossing folders, and this one's lovely because it's supposed to look like a bit of a sea wave in the background.
Yes.
So we've got the sea wave one, and we've also got a one here that's. Can you see the difference in here? It's a little bit more three-dimensional.
Oh, yes,
right?
yes,
So
it is.
this one is going to give you kind of the sea waves in the background. This one will give you like a wood effect in the background, right?
Yeah.
Now what we'll do is, I could show you. I'll show you both, right?
Okay.
So if we're doing the sea waves, and we'll do them on the blue so you can see.
Yeah.
All you do is you take your card in the folder, right?
So do you have the right side of the card with the pattern going into it, or?
Great question. So we print on the front of them, right? So if you're looking at the side that's got the printing on, you're going to see what's called the emboss.
Right.
So where it's raised up to you.
Yeah.
So as you feel inside of there, they are debossed, they're pushed in.
Yes.
These are the bits that are raised up, because what it's going to do, it's going to push from the back of the card up into the front.
I see.
So this is a regular two-dimensional embossing folder. So what you do is, if we're doing that through the Gemini, for example, or any embossing machine. Do you have a Gemini? Do you have a different embossing machine?
I've got another one at home.
Yeah. Is it the one where you turn the handle?
No, it's an electronic one.
Yep.
And then the one that's in my prize from the company, which is the Go.
You might want to tell them all about that.
Yeah, I've got a huge amount of things.
A huge amount of things.
I haven't even looked at them yet because there hasn't been time.
I know Leanne's been in and had a look though, hasn't she? Yeah.
She went through every drawer and then moved things because they were not in the right family of things.
Yes, basically we've done a whole drawer full. Every drawer's full of stuff for Angela. And yes, Leanne's been right through and had a nosy.
Yeah.
Right. So have you seen? When you lift this up, you can see there now how that's all raised up.
That's
right?
lovely, that is,
so that is regular, just normal embossing, as we'd say, right?
Okay.
This embossing folder that doesn't have the printing on, they're a little bit different, right? And can you see? You might not be able to see it there, but again, this is the deboss and this is the emboss.
Okay,
so what you'll find is any of the printing, if it's the logo, it goes on the back.
Oh, right. Logo goes on the back.
Goes on the back. Those are all, you can see the little raised elements are going to push up.
Oh, all right then.
I'm going to take this with my cream one, put that one in.
Okay.
And we'll send this through. Now, when it's a 3D folder, what you're going to do is you're going to put it between, instead of putting it between these two, you're going to put it between this one, also the magnetic and the clear plate.
Okay.
So it's just a slightly different sandwich, right? But what I will do is I'll show you the difference, so you can hopefully see the difference between a 2D emboss and a 3D emboss. See what everyone's saying?
All right then.
They're all saying enjoy yourself. Oh, Chloe's watching. You know Chloe, who comes on, who goes on Create and Craft? Chloe's creative.
Yes, Chloe. Oh, she's lovely.
Yeah, she is, isn't she?
She's lovely.
Chloe's watching. Hiya, Chloe. Yeah, you see. We'll have to get you on Facebook. All the cool kids are on Facebook, right?
Okay then.
Right. Can you see how that's a little bit more three-dimensional? Yeah?
Yes, it's really.
You can kind of see the feeling on that, can't you?
Yeah.
And so when you compare that one with the 2D, I mean, don't get me wrong, the 2D one looks great, but that is brilliant for like patterns in the background.
Yeah.
Whereas this one here is giving you that real kind of three-dimensional feel.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like a very statement one, that one, isn't it, really?
So
Very
that's the one
nice.
we're going to use. Let's have a look. There's, you take mine, I'll quickly emboss
Okay,
yours. I'm going to do
yeah.
exactly the same again. I'm just going to sandwich that up, send it through. And then what we're going to do, if you remember where I put my card, here's my card, right? So if you have a look on it, can you see it's got that little bit of a shine to it in the background? Have you worked with gilding wax before?
Only once this morning with Julia.
Well, I tell you what, she's going to be a pro by the end of it. This is the sort of effect that we're going to get on the gilding wax, right? So we're going to do a little bit of a rub over the top. Now, the trick in it, did Julia show you this morning? It's all about being quite soft with it, you know, so you don't want to go too hard, right?
Yeah, you can be tempted into using too much, really.
Too much.
Can't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, let's have a look. I've got here, this is the King Gold, or I've got a couple in here, if you want a different shade, right? So we can either get the King Gold or one of the, like the Renaissance or the Antique Gold gives you a coppery effect. Might look nice.
Yes.
So, should we try Antique Gold?
Yes.
Yeah, a bit of a mix. Right, so, here we go. You're going to use your finger.
Yes.
Little bit of it on like this,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Do a little bit, and then we're going to tap it off so we haven't got very much on our finger at all.
Do you want me to do that, or do you want me to share that with you?
You can have your own bit. I'll let you off.
Okay.
And then tap it up. You've got the hang of this. And you know when you just feel like you haven't got too much on there, right? And then what you're going to do is ever so gently, and you know what I'd recommend? Start right in the middle, because if you look at the card, what we're going to do is we're going to cover the middle section over. So the only ones that are actually going to ever get seen are the top corners.
I see.
Right?
Yeah.
So start in the middle, because I'll show you what is natural to do, right? Yeah. People have too much on and then they do that, and it's too much, and that's not what we're trying to do. Okay. What you're trying to do is get a really light rub. Can you see that when I'm rubbing it really light with my finger, I get like a bit of a hint of it on there. That's it. So if you practice in the middle, you get it really good in the middle, and then you can take it and nail it on the outside. Anytime I do classes with people with gilding wax in, they always get really frustrated that they kind of go in a little bit heavy-handed, end up with a splodge, like the splodge that I've got there, that really just doesn't look very good at all. Whereas it's all about kind of practicing and getting that feel about it. And when you're ready, you might need a little bit more.
Yeah.
But you use hardly any of it. I mean, to be honest, we put these.
I would think.
Yeah, we put these new jars into the craft room here at head office when we opened the craft room 6 months ago. Where you see how little we've used. So I'm yet to find somebody who has used a whole jar of gilding wax. Yeah. If you're watching and you're out there and you have somehow managed to use a whole jar of gilding wax, I would love to know who you are and what you've been doing with it.
Perhaps had it about 30 years or something.
It's brilliant, but it's a little bit like shoe polish. Yes. You know, so that's how I always like to think of it, a little bit like shoe polish. And you can get that lovely all over kind of feel in the background. People love working with it. It's a lovely, lovely product to work with. And gives you that lovely feeling about it, right?
Yeah.
So you get that lovely feel then. What I will do, where's the crafty fairy? Put all my rubbish over here, right? We've always got plenty of baby wipes on the go. Something I've always got plenty of. So I can get you a baby wipe for when you're happy with how much of that you've got on. You over there. And I like to always keep like my surface so I protect and get my finger clean. And it does wash off quite easily, this sort of stuff. And then I just rub it off my mat while and you can see it comes off in kind of like lumps as it was. And if you ever, I always like to work on the glass mats. Have we put you a glass mat in your kit? You need a glass mat if not.
I haven't had time to look yet, but I think so.
I tell you what, Shana's put you a good, she's nodding over in the background. Shana's put you a good kit together then. Yeah. You like to look after our guests, don't you? She's nodding over in the corner. She's terrified I'm going to make her come over here and say hello. We can see the look of dread in her face at Shannon, who's been organising everything behind the scenes today. Right, so let's put them together. Okay. There's yours, and here's mine, right?
Yes.
See, this is what everybody's looking at, that screen over there.
I see,
now, can you see it? I've made this big messy splodge in the middle. You've got yours perfect.
Well,
but in fairness to me, I did that messy splodge for your benefit.
You did it, yeah.
But it just shows everyone that is what could happen.
Yes.
If you're kind of not being careful with it, right? And the thing is, once it's on, it won't wash off. You know, I'm trying to wash it off there, and look, I'm just making a bigger mess.
Yes.
I've took the surface off, so don't think that if you do it, you can fix it, because you really can't fix it, right? Okay. So, our background's done nice and good. Should I give you a little bit of a tip on matting and layering?
Yes,
right?
please.
So what we're going to do is we're going to mat and layer this onto the blue. I mean, I just embossed mine to show you the embossing, but you're not going to see. So there's your blue.
Okay.
And then also here is your brown, right?
Okay.
Now, best glue in the world for matting and layering with, right, is your Collall All-Purpose. Have you worked with it before?
Only this morning.
Oh, you've
See,
had an insight to all the best
Julia
stuff
got
this
in
morning.
first, I'm afraid,
Right, now when I'm doing embossing, see, what I like to do is put it on. Now you don't want too much on, right? No. So I'm putting some on, but what you'll find is it'll go into all the little nooks and crannies with the embossing, right?
Okay.
And then when you do your matting and layering, you see, you'll put it on, and it'll go into all those little areas, but you've got a bit of what we call manoeuvrability time. So can you see, if it's not quite where you want it, you can manoeuvre it into place for a couple of minutes. And then what's brilliant about that is, I like to think I'm quite slapdash and I go pretty good straight off, right? But if I actually ever put it down and it's not quite right, you've got that time to manoeuvre into place, whereas if you went with tape pens, you wouldn't have that time.
Yes.
Yeah. And you'll feel it'll kind of go on. You can put it down, because if it's not right, you can squidge it about to get it right.
Yeah. I think it's because I've been using pens, and perhaps at this stage of my learning journey, it's a little bit too.
Oh, you've got that pretty good. But if you don't, I was picking mine up. I was taking it to the extreme, wanting to show you what you could do. But there you go, see, you can move it.
That's good.
But once it's dry, it's set.
Yes.
It's a great thing. So you've got that bit of time.
How long does the dry? How long would you say?
What can you say? Mine's struggling to move there. Oh, it's still moving a bit, but it's not
a
quite
minute,
easy.
A minute, and then
you've got that bit of time.
Yeah.
And it's nice and set. And then I'll do the same again. Now I'll need a little bit more than you this time, because I've embossed mine, but you won't, because you're. And then that'll go on to the craft card one.
Yeah. That one there.
Yep. And again, I'm just manoeuvring it into place, just so that all my mats and layers are perfect. It's just a great tip for people who are doing their matting and layering and never quite find that they've got it perfect. It's a brilliant way just to get it all lined up. Now, for everyone who's just joined us, because I see there is a lot of you just joining us, and you're thinking, who's the new presenter here from Crafter's Companion, and how come she's not wearing a purple t-shirt? We should have got you a purple t-shirt.
I should have had done my t-shirt.
So this is Angela. So Angela was very lucky to win a competition with us on Create and Craft, to get to come up to head office to craft for a day with us. She's been in our store crafting with Julia this morning.
I have.
And then she's got spending the afternoon with me, and I said, you know what? Instead of it just being me and you, Angela, let's invite some friends round. Let's invite some friends round via the magic of Facebook, and we can keep them up to date with how we're going on.
Absolutely.
So we've just done a quick little 101 on great embossing. You'll see, I'm just going to clarify, this was a happy accident. I did this on purpose, teaching Angela how to do perfect gilding wax.
What not to do.
What not to do. What not to do.
Yeah.
So that kind of gives you the background bit, and then we just did a little bit of matting and layering. So that's going to be our base card. Let's get that stuck onto the front, actually.
Yeah.
So we'll do the same again, and I've just got us a little bit of Centura Pearl for the base card. Have you used much Centura Pearl?
Only this morning with Julia.
It's kind of becoming a bit of a. We should get you a t-shirt on with only this morning with Julia. Yep. So what's brilliant about the Centura Pearl is it's a nice strong card, but then also we do it with the pearl on both sides. So you can see we've got that lovely pearl finish on the inside of the card as well as on the outside. But Centura Pearl is based on a 300 GSM board, and then it gets the pearl coating on both sides, so it ends up being about 320 grams, and it just means that you've got a lovely thick. Nothing worse than making a card and it feeling really flimsy, is it not?
I think it's nice as well that it's like a soft finish.
Yes.
Rather than Shiny.
Yes. Yep. It's like a subtle sheen as opposed to anything
That's
else.
it, sheen.
Yep. So
Yeah.
there's our nice base bit ready to go, right?
Oh, that's lovely.
And then what I thought we'd do is, can you see I've cut us some, I haven't, the Crafty Fairies cut us some nice mats and layers,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
So that what we can do is stick our mats and layers over the front here with the embossed bit.
Yes.
So we're going to emboss this in the blue one.
Okay.
So should we stick them both in at
Yeah,
once?
they'll both go in
Now,
there.
can you remember what the sandwich combination was when we were just doing a regular embossing folder?
I think it's just the I don't know what you call it, like a base plastic
Yep.
one and another the one that looks the same.
Perfect. You see, it's me thinking I'd put you under so much pressure on live TV that you wouldn't remember everything.
It always looks so easy when you put sandwiches in there. Whereas sometimes some some cutting machines, it looks very complicated.
And there's a
the
lot to
thick
remember.
white one, the magnetic and the other clear ones. And
It's
when
a
I
lot to
first
take in.
started a few months ago, it was daunting. It
Do you know, a
really
lot
was.
of people,
Couldn't get my head around it at all.
I've heard that from a lot of people, they really, because I think for me it feels a little bit second nature now because
Yeah, of course.
I do it all
will
day, every day.
Yeah.
And I think it will do for most of our crafters, but what we forget is
Yeah.
people are starting crafting all the time.
Yeah.
So you see, have you just started then?
It's literally just a few months ago, but as I only do cards for my family and
Yep.
friends, that isn't many.
Yep.
It isn't that I'm selling them or making loads and loads.
Yep.
So it's just teaching myself. So it isn't a lot of experience. So I was saying to Julia this morning, when I first started to watch Create and Craft, they said charisma, an angel policy, and I thought, I have no idea what these
Talking
things,
about-
sandwiches,
Yep.
and I had no idea what these things were. And
you
you
know-
just have to pick it up by watching the programs, or if it's Facebook or YouTube or whatever.
You're right, because the
just
problem
don't
is
know.
we forget that all these new
Yeah.
people come in and we use all this techie
Yeah,
jargon.
and you don't know what you're talking about.
Yep. Yeah. No, I totally get it. Totally get it. Let's have a look. I think I needed a little bit more glue on mine. That's the beauty. Look, I hadn't put enough glue on, so it just peels off. And you can pop a bit more
Oh,
on.
right,
Yep.
there you go.
Or you can always. I know I'm going to stick in the right place. You can always use
yeah,
your
one of
tape pens as well. So I've now got a mix. I'm going to have the wet glue and the tape pen on both at the same time. And a little bit of wet glue in the middle, so it'll stick lovely. And I get the best of both worlds. So you've got that manoeuvrability and the wet glue stick. There we go. See, me wet glue stuck the base one lovely because I put plenty on. It's just that second layer I hadn't put
Yeah.
enough on. So that's stuck
right?
nice and good.
I think
Right.
so, yeah.
Now, what we're going to do is we're going to cover up our mess in my case with that bit in the middle. So we'll do it with some foam pads, right?
Okay.
So we've got some good, oh, they're little mini ones, so I'll show you our big ones. And all I find when I'm putting foam pads on,
Yes.
yep, is I'm going to put them in the corners
Okay.
and then a couple of support bits
Oh,
in
yeah,
the middle.
in the middle.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you use a lot of foam pads when you're doing 3D?
I have used.
Should we have them?
Yeah, I have used foam pads. Yes. Yeah.
Or
I'm a-
halfies.
yeah, I have used them.
They're good, they're just sometimes
Yeah,
a bit
they
of a
are.
pain getting the backs
Yeah.
off, aren't they?
Oh. Is it Chloe that can take the backs
Oh.
off? The speed of, I've never seen anyone take
She's
the backs
unbelievable, isn't she? She has a pokey tool. I haven't got my pokey
off. I'm just
tool.
watching.
She's there.
That's all she. It's so quick.
Crafty Fairy, where's the pokey tool? Do you know what it is? We were really organised in here. It was organised chaos. And then at the weekend, Craig, I don't know if you've ever seen
Yeah,
Craig
yes,
from our company,
I have, yeah.
came in and tidied up.
Oh, you
And now we can't find
is.
anything. So,
No.
so let's have a look. I'm pinching Julie's pokey. All right, I'm ready to go when we need a pokey tool. We've got one of Julie's. Right, so let's have a look. Get all the foam pads off the back. There is a bit of a knack to it once you get used to it.
Yes.
And then when you become Chloe, you can take over the world with your foam pad release techniques.
You just get mesmerised by watching her do it.
Yep. But don't you find that with a lot of the presenters, they all have their own little thing
Yeah,
that
they
they're
do.
just really good at.
Yeah, they do. They're so good. I don't know how you or anyone
Yep.
can craft and talk at the same I can't do it very well at the same time.
Right. So, but what are you doing right now?
I know, but this is only taking the backs off when you're doing something really creative and they're asking you questions. Or
It's all right.
I
It's
don't
all
know
right
how you
because
do
we're
it.
about to go and do really creative stuff as well and still
Okay.
ask questions.
All right then.
Go on. Right, come on.
Right.
Tell you what, I'm going to stick you a bit of tape pen on that corner as well.
Okay.
So that you get a good stick
Oh
down.
yes.
And then a little bit down there.
Perhaps I don't go near enough to the
Just,
corners.
it's just getting you, so you've got it perfect over this
Yeah.
side. I just put you a little bit extra down there and we'll do the same
Good
here.
idea.
And the good thing is, so can you see when I'm lifting up there, you can see you
Yes.
haven't quite gone to the edge.
All right then.
And I'll get you right up to the edge there. But you've got right to the edge at this end. So you've
That's
done
good.
great with that, right?
Keep checking it's the right way round.
Oh, yeah, well, Australian cards, that's what we make on TV now. We're very good at them.
Now have you got it centre?
I've pretty much gone in the middle there, right?
Yeah. Okay then.
Right, how have you done? Have you done much in the way of stamping?
No, that's
Oh.
something I've only just starting.
Right, well, you'll be pleased to hear
Yeah.
we're going to stamp on this.
Right.
So you've got your little bit,
Yeah.
right? And I'm going to teach you the Sara way of getting some perfect stamping, right? So
Okay.
this is the stamp set we're going to work with. And I think I'm going to do Enjoy Life's Journey.
Okay.
But you can, I mean, you've got Adventure Awaits there, Sail Away. There's a few that'll fit on there. So you see, Sail Away would fit on there nicely.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, it would.
Or Enjoy Life's Journey. Seize the Day would probably look a little bit dodgy in the
Mm.
middle. Adventure Awaits would go in there nicely. You Anchor Me wouldn't work.
No,
so
it's too
I think
big,
I
isn't
will
it?
go Enjoy Life's Journey, right?
Okay.
So all you do is this is going to go, when you've got your stamper here, underneath in the middle, right?
All
And what
right.
I'm going to do is, I've got all my gear here, I'm going to get us the stamping mat to go on to. There we go, I'll pass it into you.
Thank you.
And let's get us a nice brownie coloured ink pad. Let's have a look, there's a nice dark red one, I think it'll look nice. And the quick dry, oh, here's a brown one, yeah. Right? So, what I'm using is one of the Harmony quick dry ink pads, right?
Yes.
So, if you're not familiar, the different types of ink pads, right?
This is another thing that daunts a
It's like a
newbie.
minefield, isn't it?
You think, well, I don't know whether to use watercolour stamps and permanent inks.
Yep.
And the other way, I just couldn't get my head around that at all.
And you know what? Well, anyway, who out there thinks the same thing? Come and tell us if you're the same. And ink pads just feel like a minefield,
Yeah.
right?
There's so many types and combinations.
Let me show you. So what I've done is I've chosen one of the quick dry ones because if we're going with a quick dry, what you want is you want it to cling to your paper instantly, right?
Okay,
So
all
let's
right.
do a bit of it. It's always good to have a bit of a practice. So I've got some bits of paper under here and I'm just going to practice on the back of one of my sheets of paper.
All right then.
So what you're going to do is I'm going to take the ink to my ink pad, right?
Yes.
Doesn't matter that I've got loads of excess around the outside because then I'm going to position it down and stamp it, right?
Yes.
Now, first couple of times you stamp it, it's not quite going to be as clear, but when you've stamped it a few times, first new time you use a stamp and it'll get clearer and clearer. Do you know what some pick can you see?
Yes.
It's a little bit more
Yeah.
pronounced, right?
Yes, okay.
What you can do is take a little, like a nail file or something,
Yes.
and just go over the surface with a nail file.
Oh, right.
Or, tell you what I use a lot, these things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so can you
Yeah.
see they've got like the this finish
Yeah.
on?
Yeah.
Just use them to like scruff up the top of your stamps like
I
this,
see.
right?
Yeah.
Obviously we don't need, I'll leave that on there, right? And now, watch the difference. The ink will take a lot stronger, so when we stamp them, it'll be a lot
Yes.
crisper.
Yes.
Yep, so you can kind of
Okay.
see it's getting a
Yeah.
little crisper as we're going. So
Okay.
what I'm going to do, now I've done my practice ones, I'm going to get my real one in here.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to pop on there, Enjoy Life's Journey, turn it over so that I'm looking straight through, happy with that, press down, and actually I wasn't quite in the middle because I was trying to be clever, and I was trying to be clever and look at the camera and not the thing. So do you know what we do? We'll turn it over and we'll do it again, nobody will
Because
ever
it's
know.
the same on both sides.
Because it's the same on both sides, right? So now
That's
I'm going
why
to
you
actually
made it
look.
like that,
That's,
isn't it,
that is
Sara?
exactly what I was thinking when I do that, right? So I'll get that right in the middle. Enjoy Life's Journey, and then look, I've got that
That's
perfect,
good,
right?
yeah.
So go on, I've left you an absolute mess. Let me just clean up around here for you, and then you can go and do the same. There you go. So your ink pad,
Yeah.
there we go. So you're just going to That's it. And your quick dry ink on your ink pad. Taking the ink to the stamp. You've got a good technique for a beginner. Yep, small tap. So you see, you're much neater than I am. I had ink all over by then. Ah, well, you're getting a bit of it.
Do you think that's enough?
Yes, I think that's more than adequate.
I never know whether to go really overboard or just to just...
So if you're ever in doubt and you're not sure, go on,
Do it.
you have a go on your practice one.
Okay, then.
So have a go stamping on your practice one first.
Okay.
Yep. That's it.
Oh, I
Pretty
see.
good.
Not quite on
Just
the
missed a bit on the
J.
bottom corner.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
I'll
Should be
have a go
fine now.
properly this
And
time.
actually, what you've got to remember is there's kind of no rush. You can
Yes.
position up, and you don't have to do it all quickly. You can just, I was just nice
Yeah.
and slow, tapping it down. There you go.
Now I've got plenty all over the back.
Yeah, I'll let you off though. That's it. You've got more than plenty on there. You always feel like you haven't quite got enough, don't you?
You do, yeah. Till you've done it a few times, no doubt.
So then you're more than happy. That's it. And then press down, and you can hold. That's it. And lift it back up. And that's good. Mine stuck as well. And it'll just peel off a little bit. Perfect. Lovely. Happy with that?
Yes. Well,
Yes.
it's not perfect, but then it
Let's have
won't
a
be.
look.
It's the first time.
I wouldn't say that's a million miles
No.
off. I tell you what, let them have a look. So this is Sarah's.
Yes.
This is Angela's.
Splodgy.
I tell you what, you wouldn't know the difference. Really, you wouldn't know the difference.
Just a little bit.
You go, right. This was Sarah's first one. This was Angela's first one. Who did the best? Right? So there you go. So that is, and I'll clean it down while we're going. I'll keep it nice and tidy. So that's a little bit of a kind of tips and tricks on inks and
And
stamping.
it's
and whatnot.
important to wipe your stamp as soon as you can after you've used it.
Depending on what type of ink, it can be
Oh,
more
here we
important than
go.
others. However, it never hurts to clean it straight away.
No.
Yep. So some types of ink are very slow drying and therefore it won't matter.
I see, yes.
But if you don't know, if in doubt, just clean it off straight away.
Yes.
Because
okay.
why not be organised about it, and you'll get it right perfectly.
And
right?
I don't mind that that's not perfect, because that will be how it was made today.
There you go.
And I wanted to see how I made it today.
How you did. There you go. Right. So all we're going to do is we're going to mat and layer this onto. You've got your nice. It's going to go onto the blue and onto the brown. So yeah, tell you what. This is what happens when you craft with me. I have stuff everywhere, right? So why don't you have a little go with the tape pen this time? Because you're only sticking little bits. So I feel really comfortable that you're going to get it right first time, right?
Okay.
So a bit of a trick with the tape pens. You're going to go along and then break the edge like that.
So we're on the back of that.
Yep.
Okay.
And we're going to stick it onto the blue. And then the blue is going to go under the brown. And we're just going to get the mats and layers done nicely. That's it. You're getting that perfect. How are you finding it?
It's good. This is good.
Good. Excellent.
Yeah.
Have you tried out tape pens before? Is this your first time?
This morning.
I did them with Julie this morning.
It was the dotty one.
I've got the dotty one, yes.
Yes, it was the dotty. And I had to open my dotty one and my prize because we couldn't find Julia's.
Because we couldn't find Julie's dotty one. That sounds right. Yep.
I said, would you like me to open mine? And she says, oh, if you don't mind. I said, I don't mind. So it's been...
Oh, it's all coming out now, isn't it? All coming out now.
That's good.
Right, brilliant.
All right.
So, here we go. These three bits, right? What we're going to do, we're going to mat and layer them, right? But we're going to put a if I show you the card
Whatever
again,
one of those is.
we're going to cut them into a V.
Oh, right.
Right.
Okay.
So there's no great trick to how you do it. If you line them up at the bottom,
Yeah.
right? Let's have a look. Line them up at the bottom, but get them lined up evenly, right? And I'm going to put. Have I got a little pencil? I'll put a little dot with me. Roughly at halfway point, right? And I'm going to cut them up to the middle. Oh, and then when I line all of them up, I should have,
Oh yeah.
can you see,
Yeah.
perfectly lined.
So I missed what you did there. So
Right.
I've got it like that.
I've got them like that, sis.
Yeah.
Let me put you a little dot. Yep,
Oh,
roughly
I see.
halfway or whatever.
Okay.
And then all you're going to do with your scissors, you're going to cut up to there.
Did you use these ones? Is
I
that
did.
okay?
They're good. Or you've got the bigger ones if you want the bigger ones. There you go. I'm going to pinch your tape pen now, and Matt and lay mine while you're still going. So you say you've only been crafting what, a few months, was it?
Yes.
So how did you come across Create and Craft then?
Just going through the channels, and I came across the name of
Yep.
the channel,
Yep.
and I put it on, and I thought that I didn't want to do anything that involved computers, because I'd done that in my job, you know,
Yep,
in an
yep.
office. I wanted something simple.
You picked the wrong hobby, didn't you? You picked the wrong hobby.
I
There you
wanted
go.
something simple and
Yep.
calm. I wanted something calm. And my grandson, he liked to craft when he came to visit.
Yep.
But of course, all we had was an old cardboard box or something.
Yeah, a few bits and pieces.
Because I hadn't got nice card, nice
Yep.
glues, nice things like that. So I just started to buy one or two things, and then of course I had a go at it. So that's kind of where I am
And
now.
you got
know.
hooked on it. Brilliant.
Yeah, so
Do you want to stick yours with the tape pen, or do you want to do them with the flat glue so you've got the manoeuvrability time?
yeah, I think I'll go with the glue.
Yeah, you see,
So-
give you a bit of confidence. So while you're doing that, I'll keep
Yeah.
an eye on you, and I'll stick mine together as well.
Okay.
No, that's good. So your grandson got you into it as well.
He did, yeah, because you know how they like. He's at 7, so you know what they like
Oh,
for wanting
lovely
to
age.
make things.
I do. My little one's 5, and he's really into it. And
Yeah.
our cameraman Johnny, he's got a little 5-year-old as well. And actually, he's wanting to follow in his dad's footsteps. He's more into the being on the camera side, just than the crafting side.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, I'm going to get him trained up as a TV presenter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. Then you can sit and relax.
There you
then,
go.
can't
You see,
I don't think you
absolutely.
can sit and relax though,
No,
can
you're
you?
quite right. You're quite right. I won't do much sitting and relaxing.
No, that's a little bit.
See, you've got that
That's
manoeuvrability
yeah,
time
it's-
now with the all-purpose.
I think it's a good idea, particularly when you're new.
When you go, I'll have a look what everybody's been saying while you're going. Right, Chloe's still watching.
Oh, is she? Good.
Belfast, New York, USA. Good morning from South Carolina. Kim says she needs a crafty fairy. Everyone needs a crafty fairy in their life, Kim. Margaret's watching, my friend Margaret. Sarah Jane, she's our... so you've been in our store today, haven't you, at Aycliffe?
Yes, yeah.
And Sarah, who's watching, is our store manager in our store at Chesterfield.
Oh, right.
So where's home for you? Are you a little bit further down the country? Have you had a big trip for the day?
We're just south of Manchester.
Just south of Manchester. Well, you have to get yourself over to the Chesterfield store.
Yeah.
Oh, and Liz is watching. You know Liz, who does our sewing shows, Liz Curtis?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so let you see.
Yeah.
Everybody... everybody's on Facebook. I've been telling Angela, for those of you that have just tuned in and wondering who this crafty lady right next to me here is, so Angela won a competition with us when we launched on Create and Craft. Basically, everybody that ordered got the opportunity to go into just so you were sticking that one on the front with some of your foam pads, and then we're going to stick this one on next.
Okay.
You can get caught up. So so Angela won a competition, and the prize for the competition was to come up to our head office to have a fantastic couple of days with us. She's been staying at the lovely hotel around the corner. She said she's done nothing but eat.
We've not stopped.
Done nothing but eat.
As soon as you get up, you've got to have a big breakfast, and then before long, you've got to have a big dinner.
With feeders.
And, oh my goodness, yeah.
And then she's had, so she's been, had a lovely night at the hotel. This morning she's come over, she's been in our store all morning, done a class with one of the ladies from our class in the store, Julia, who's been our crafty fairy today as well. And then I had lunch. You've met Leanne,
Yeah.
haven't you? Had a big chat
Yes,
with
I
Leanne.
have.
Had a fantastic prize from us, so she's got a whole set of craft drawers full to the rafters with everything she needs. And then she was coming in to do a class with me. We were going to film it so that she could take it away and learn from it later. I said, never mind you just learn, and let's put it on Facebook and everyone can watch and learn.
That's right.
So it's been lovely. So that's look, Stacey says she's loving watching this. Good wishes on your crafting.
Oh.
Love from Tennessee. People are saying congratulations. Maggie says you're doing a great job.
Thank you very much.
Darlene says we've expanded her imagination. Rachel loves watching us together. Terry says you're doing a great job.
Good.
Martha says she loves Lizzie.
She's nice.
There you go. You don't even hear Lizzie and you're getting the love. Jenny's watching. Hey Jenny, she says what a fab trip.
Yes.
Jenny's over in the US as well.
Yeah.
Ruth says, yay Angela. So right, are we ready for the next stage then? Right.
I am.
So
yeah.
we're going to pop this piece on here now. When we did 3D sticking there, we used the foam pads and it gives you like a uniform stick all over.
Yes.
Sometimes if you want to just do a little bit of a raise up but you don't know what, you can use 3D glue gel.
Yes.
Have you had a go with the 3D glue gel?
Guess.
She had a go this morning with Juliet.
That's
You've had a
right.
big morning, haven't you? Literally, Crafter's Companion 101 this morning.
Yeah.
Juliet, you do
First
know we're
time,
going to be
yeah.
inundated with requests on Facebook. People want to come and do Julia classes now. You know I'm going to lose me crafty fairy, aren't I? So,
Yeah, I
right,
think you
so what
are.
I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of big globules
yes.
on here and then I'm putting smaller ones at the bottom. Now the reason I'm putting bigger ones at the top and smaller ones at the bottom is because, can you see, if I just show you from the side here, right, we have, it's going to be a lot more, it's raised up here.
Yes.
So when I lie this on the top and we lie it there, we need to raise up a little bit higher. If I get it in place, it'll make sense. Yep.
Because of the different levels.
Because of the different levels
I
there.
see.
So you can see we've got to go through a higher level up here, and then we've got the foam pads in the middle here, so it's a lesser level there.
Yes.
So we start and then we've got that nice uniform raise up all
Yeah.
the way along as it was. And if
Okay.
you don't get it quite in the right place, you've got that manoeuvrability time again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So give it some welly, she's there.
Yeah, you have got to.
That's it. Oh, she's there with you. She's good at this. Do you know what? There's somebody keeping a right eye on you to check you're doing all right with it.
Oh right, okay. How far down did you come, Sarah? With did
I
you?
went quite near the bottom there.
Did you?
Yeah.
Like that, but less. Of
While,
course.
while you're sticking, do you want to introduce everyone to that lovely hubby of yours? Do you think he might want to come over and say hello?
I think he would want to come and say hello. Yeah, because he would like that. Yes, it's Eric, by the way.
Come on, I know it's Eric. Everybody
Yeah.
else needs to know it. Come on in, Eric. Right. Come on, Eric. You can come and sit in my chair.
Yes, right.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. And is Angela helping you a lot? Are you learning?
I think she's doing well. Have you let yourself a sit down?
Jolly good.
Have a good look. See how you think she's getting on. What do you think of the stamping now you're seeing it? Because Eric is sitting behind, watching live on the what we call like in the gallery. So he's watching all the different camera angles, so you can see how she's doing. You're probably looking at it further up close than what she is.
Yes, that's right. On the screen.
That's true.
When Johnny's nice up on the close up.
Well, isn't she doing well? Eh?
I am doing well. Yes, my
Wonderful.
expert tuition.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's
So what's
good.
it's been your favourite part of the day so far?
My favourite part of the day actually has been in here, I think, and meeting you all. I think you're a lovely lot of people, and it's
Brilliant.
and very, very clever. And I'm just standing back and admiring you all.
Oh, brilliant. I've got some good ones here, haven't I? I've got some
Yeah.
good ones here.
Lovely.
Well, you keep them right. We'll get finished.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank
Will
you
you
very
pay
much.
attention? All I
Yeah.
would say is you watch yourself on the way back past there.
Yeah. Otherwise.
The crafty fairy's going to sort you out.
I'm very proud of you, Andrew. You're
Thank
doing very
you.
well.
Thank
He's a
you.
good one, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a good one.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Right,
Lovely,
okay.
lovely that you've been able to bring him up with you.
Yes.
Right, so bit of die cutting.
All right.
Right, so what we're going to do, if I bring the card back in, we're going to do the little house. And can you see I've done it twice? Once in the blue and once in the brown so that we can
Okay.
shadow it. Same with the blue, I've done a little bit in the cream and a little bit in the brown so that we can
Yeah,
slightly
that's
off-centre them and
lovely.
shadow
That's
them,
nice,
right?
yeah.
So what I'm going to do is get the dies, and this is the set of dies that we're going to work with, right?
Yes.
And when you're doing the die cutting, right, now it's not a particularly intricate die. So
No.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put my blue and the white, right? Well, it's like a creamy colour.
Yeah.
blue and white. Now there's two ways you can do this, right? I always do it like this so that everybody at home watching can see what I'm doing.
All right.
And I'll send it through and cut it so that you can see. And then I will show you the other way you can do it. So if you do it like this,
Yeah.
you put your clear plate, then you put your magnetic, then we put your top plate on, right?
Okay.
And we're going to send them through the machine. So that is one way to do it. In the instruction booklet, it actually tells you to do that same sandwich but upside down.
Oh right, I see.
And the reason I do it this way is literally so that people can see at home what I'm doing.
Yes.
Right? So when I lift that out, right, you can see that's cut beautifully. I mean, it's cut,
right. Oh,
it's
lovely.
embossed, fabulous,
Yeah,
right?
it is, it's lovely.
And then the same with the little bird. So I've done it once. Let's have a look. Where was that pokey tail? Right. I've done it once in the cream and once in the blue, right? And I'll just, they should be all right. I'll show you the other way, right?
Okay.
You would have your magnetic, and what you would do is put your dies onto your magnetic sheet. So this is the way the instruction book says,
Yes.
right? Obviously, magnetic the right way up would help. So you're going to put the two dies on, and then we put our cardstock over top of the dies.
Yes.
So you can see how, when I'm on TV, I do it people always say, why do you do it different to the instructions, Sarah? And I say, well, literally so that the cameras can pick up what I'm doing. Because if you just turned over and saw us on Facebook now, you wouldn't have a clue what we were cutting.
It just looks like just two pieces of card,
Exactly.
doesn't it?
So
rather
people
than-
always ask me, why do you do it that way? That's why I do it now. So you know, so when you're watching people on TV,
Yes.
and then when you're looking at the instruction manual, you'll be able to kind of have
I
that.
had noticed that, but
that
what
bit-
it says in the booklet is different.
It's
than
very
what I
different.
do, yeah.
There you go. So I've got mine die cut, right? And I will pass the dies over to you so that you can get yours die cut now. So I'm going to guess you're going to use them the right way according to the instruction booklet.
Yeah. So
you're going to leave it like
where's
that.
my little card? Yeah.
Perfect.
So which colour were we using?
So you're going to
sorry?
use the blue one
The
on
blue
here.
one there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you want your tiny little cream one.
The cream one.
And
There.
the cream one's going to go on your bird.
Okay.
Perfect.
And that.
So you say you've done a bit of die cutting so far,
Yeah.
have you?
Yeah. Just,
Yep.
Yeah. Just
Getting
a-
into it.
Yeah.
And did you say you'd got a Gemini Go today in your goodie bag?
Yes. I haven't looked at it properly, but
Yep.
yes, I think that's.
Well, the good news
Small
is
one.
all of these dies will go through
that
the
one.
Gemini Go as well.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you everything that we use.
Yes.
So you can take it all home and do the same card again.
Oh,
so I
thank
send all
you.
these dies home with you as well.
Oh, lovely! Thank you very much.
Because I've got no doubt you'll love this and you'll want to do the same card
Yes,
again.
it's lovely. So
Right, so yeah, I could be getting tied up while you're going, couldn't I? There's your pokey tool. That's going to poke out. Put them in there. And then, let's have a look, I'll get this one out for you. There's your blue one.
it always seems to take me longer to get things out of a die than it does, you experienced people.
Yeah, but you've got to remember we do it all day, every day for a living.
That's
And have
true.
done for many years.
Yeah.
So we've had plenty of practice at it, as it was, right? And what I would always say is, if in doubt, always send it through another time and emboss it.
Yeah.
And embossing generally gives you that lovely finish again, right?
I see. Yes.
So I've just sat and popped them bits out for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. And then you can go one more time with your brown bits. And you can stick your brown bits through if you want.
Now, why is that? Is that because
Let's have a look, I'll have a look
just
for you.
needed a bit?
There we go.
Oh, I'm being too gentle.
I
I'm too
just think,
gentle.
I think you were maybe just being gentle. And do you know what
Yeah.
as well? We probably had bits left in the die because we
Oh,
haven't
yeah.
cleaned them out,
Yeah.
which will teach me. Right, you're going to put them through again with your brown bits.
Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. And then
So
you pop your
that's
brown
that.
bits on.
Yeah.
And I'll pop these bits through. Yes, that's what it is. It's because we hadn't. It's called weeding the die.
Oh, is
so we
it?
hadn't weeded the die, and because we hadn't weeded it, it's not as easy to release the second time.
you
So what
think-
you'll find is if you're lazy sometimes, you kind of pay the price.
Yeah.
So you think you're saving a bit of time, and actually
Sometimes you're not,
you're
are
not.
you?
Yeah. And you'll probably not be surprised to hear I'm the worst culprit for it.
Are you?
Yep, the worst culprit for it, right? So here we go. I'll give you there's your die cut pieces back. While you're doing that, I've just realised again I haven't weeded all of my dye because and we've got these bits here, and then I can show everyone while you're popping your bits out. I'll show everyone how we do the how we're going to get that lovely shadow effect on. So some little popped out bits here. We can tell we're concentrating. It's gone quiet.
Gone quiet, yeah.
So, right, so there's all our bit there. Yours should fall out. Look at that, how much easier yours has come out. Yeah, it's better to be in the dye though, because you can always use your dye brush to clean it out.
Yes,
so there you go. There's your tool if you want it. Right, so I'll show everyone what we're going to do. And what we're going to do is I've got, we've just done some die cut circles. So I've got the 2 circles and I'm going to flat stick those on top of each other. So again, a little bit of glue, all-purpose. And one of the great things I didn't get a chance to tell you about the all-purpose is if you get any oozing out of the side that you don't want, that wasn't supposed to be there, what you can always do is it just rubs away nice and easily. So you can see I've got that lovely kind of matten layer there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the dotty tape pen. She says optimistically, I did have the dotty tape, here it is, right? So watch the difference and hopefully the camera will be nice and up close on it. When I run the dotty tape pen up there, all it does is put me tape, you can see it there. It only leaves tape exactly where you want it. It doesn't put it in between, and the extra kind of comes off at the base or doesn't come off in the first place. So you can run your dotty tape pen all over the back and it's absolutely perfect. So let's have a look. I'm going to put the base piece down here. And then I'm going to do the same again. You might see it quite nice on the Centura Pearl. We put the dotty tape pen over the back, all this way over. And I've realised I haven't popped out all my little pieces here. There we go. Do you want to do there's your colour all-purpose for you to do your flat stick in there.
So it was the cream on the blue.
Cream on the blue. And then we've put the base piece on. And then when I put this next one on, all I'm going to do is slightly offset it. So I'm going to go slightly up and slightly along. So then what you end up with is it looks like it's got a little bit of a shadow to it. Looks like a little bit of a beach hut. And actually, I mean, this is great because you can even open the door a little bit if you want. So you get that lovely bit of a feeling of like the beach hut with a little bit of a shadow. And that I'm going to put onto the front and I'm going to raise it up with some of my glue gel. All right? Right.
Did you use the dotty?
I used the dotty.
Yeah.
We're dottying it up. And I'm going to put, now the glue gel always comes with tools. So if you want it to be, I mean, I just oozed it out, but you could always transfer your glue gel into the little syringe. If you want to do it with the syringe, it's a little bit easier. So that's going to go there on the front. And we've just got that all lined up perfectly. And you can get going with your sticking there.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do exactly the same. Little bit of, if you ever want to just put a little tiny bit of glue gel on, just use your, can you see I'm just oozing a little bit out onto here?
Yes.
And then my little bird, you see, I'll just pop down there. And then I can 3D my other one on top of it. And again, all I'm doing is I'm oozing a little bit out of the edge. Getting it on the edge of my little pokey tool. Just applying it on there. And then when we're good to go, that just slightly offsets like this. Can you see? And I can get my my little bird 3D'd up.
Now
Lovely.
then, I've got one little bit of my bird.
You've got one, and then there's your other one. There you go. So you can do some little bit of bit of bird sticking. And then I've got some twine.
So you stuck that, how have you stuck that on there? Sorry, I was
three big blobs.
Yeah, I was probably too busy doing my other glue.
So all I'm going to do is a little bit of twine. And a little bit of a tie around the middle. And there's no right or wrong way, it's just kind of whatever feels right and comfortable.
Okay.
So what's on the cards for tonight? Then you and Eric going to have a nice spa and then a bit of...
No, I think it's mainly...
bit of chillax?
Obviously when we've finished here and then go back and have our meal.
Well, we had a spa yesterday.
Oh, we had a spa yesterday.
Yeah.
It was lovely.
Eric says it was lovely. There you go.
He really enjoyed it.
Well, has Eric been designated driver? It'll come up as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So it's got to be some perks to being the designated driver, hasn't there? Let's have a look. I think I'm going to
it's the
take them bits off like this.
door comfort. And this was with the pokey tool and the...
Yes, a little bit of glue gel. There we go. And I'm just busy making a nice bit of mess there.
Does it matter if you keep squeezing this? You
No.
know, with tubes, you try and do it.
Do you know what you could do? Why don't you? You go the other way. You can put a lump. You could squeeze it out of here instead.
I've never had a go at one of those.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
You go and make a little bit. Do you want me to do you a little knot tie while we're on?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'll go knot tie for you. So it's just sometimes easier. I know a lot of people do find it that little bit easier using the tools. Then you just squeeze and you've got to give it a good push at the end, and you give it a good squeeze into place, and then just position it down however you feel comfortable.
Okay.
Get that into place. I'll get this this knot tied up here. Hey, you know we're in concentrating crafting mode when everybody goes quiet.
Goes quiet, yeah.
Everybody goes quiet. Right, here we go. Nice and tied up. And then you just put a nice...
I've got a blob of glue there, so how did you get rid of that? You just moved it with
So
your...
all I'm going to do is use the end of the tool
Okay.
and just take away, let me see what you don't want. There we go, that's got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just comes with practice. There we go.
Yeah,
It's looking
lovely.
perfect there in the end.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Right. Blob of glue gel on the back of there. And you can position that in place.
Oh,
And it's just a little bit different way of finishing it off, isn't it? And that, now it's really important when you're using the glue gel with the tools, two things. Always leave the cap on.
yes.
And then also the tube, right? And I think you've done it. But what you should, a good little bit of a tip, right, is always squeeze it till there's a little bit coming out at the end, right? So can you see? I'll squeeze it there till there's a little bit coming out at the end. And then when you've got that little bit out at the end, you can put the lid on. I'm going to wait till you've got in the nice close-up camera so you can see me a little bit on the end. Oh, here he is. Right, so squeeze it till there's a little bit coming out the end. Then put the cap on. Because what that means is then there's no air inside.
I see.
Whereas if you've squeezed it and got it funny, and then you've got some air inside,
Yes.
the air will harden the glue at the top.
Right, yeah.
So if you ever have a tube of this stuff and it goes hard in the tube, that's a way to stop that happening.
All right then.
Right, should we do our reveal?
Yes.
I'll do it to this close-up camera here, you do yours. So all you do is turn it round, stand it up,
Okay.
and then have a look. So let's have a look. Here's mine. Oh, I've stuck mine together. Oh, right, there we go. So there's mine, right? Let's get nice and central. And the good news is you've got a nice cameraman there who's going to go and get a nice perfect shot of yours. So yours will be looking lovely.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
there's mine and there's yours.
Beautiful.
Brilliant. Well, shall I put them both together? I'll put them both together. Look, you cannot even tell the difference whose is who. except mine stuck together in the middle. Oh, you've got loads of little love hearts going up on Facebook. Look at all this.
Thank
So
you.
everybody's saying, Kim says cute cards. Donna says they love beautiful. Mary says there's been some brilliant tips there. Great watching us. Fabulous tip about the air in the glue there. Sara Davies, this is the best live ever.
Oh.
Best live ever. She loves that card and loves that you're really patient and a good educator.
Oh, that's good
love
for
the
you.
dimension in the 3D glue gel. Us girls are awesome, apparently.
Oh, well, we are.
Us girls are
we are.
awesome. Let's do a fisty pump. This is what the kids have taught us. It's what the cool kids do. Well, that has been lovely. So yes, I mean, this is literally just part of Angela's wonderful day here at Crafters HQ. She's been round head office, met all the staff in head office, had a big chat with Leanne. It'll be time for a cup of tea and a cake in the store next. She's been with our crafty fairy all morning with Julia. And this was literally, we thought, instead of just coming and crafting with me, let's record it all, let's do it live on Facebook and everybody else can share your experience.
Yes, thank you. It's
So,
been wonderful.
brilliant.
Thank you very much to all of you for arranging this day and these 3 days for Eric and myself.
Fantastic. Well, it just
you.
shows you next time we're running a competition at Crafters Companion, this is the sort of awesome stuff you could be in with a chance of winning. It's just ordinary people. You were just
Absolutely.
You were just one of them customers at home probably thinking, I'll never win that competition. I'll never be
I
that
just
lucky.
never thought about it until I got the call from Shauna, and then that was it. I was
Fantastic.
amazed.
Brilliant. Well, we've got all sorts and stuff, Angela, the rest of the day, and she's got to work up an appetite ready for that lovely big meal tonight in the hotel.
That's true.
So I'm going to sign off. We've got an amazing Facebook Live coming up this afternoon at 4 o'clock with Bernie, our sewing expert, and that'll be over on the Crafters Companion UK page. So if you want to be back with us another hour, you can come back with us live, and you might stay around and
We shall
watch
see.
Bernie and see what she's up to.
We shall see.
But thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.